Hey, I am popping in today because I got mail from YouTube and I just wanted to open it up together to celebrate and thank you for being a subscriber to my channel. And then I also invited my patrons on Patreon to let me know if they have any questions because I've been meaning to do a Q&A for them. So I've kind of combined these two things together into unboxing the silver play button and then doing a few Q&A. So let's crack in here and see what this thing looks like. All right. Congratulations on your subscriber milestone. This is so nice. Little congrats card. Oh, I was doing a Q&A with the patrons, but now this thing is asking me questions too. Do you remember your first subscriber? No, I don't think I do. Your 100th, your 1000th? Chances are you do. Nope, I don't. Should I? And we know that you'll definitely remember your 100,000th subscriber. I guess it's just been a little while. So I've been doing my YouTube channel since about 2010 or 2011. That's when I caught on that Paul Michaels, a patron at the Texas Renaissance Festival, had posted a video of me playing with my band E-Musiki. He had posted that back in 2008. And in around 2010-11 is when somebody told me that there was this video that was going viral. At that time, it had about not even 100,000 views yet. So, that the person who found it was a comedian, like a semi-famous comedian in LA who we were performing with at the Hack and Slash Christmas show, which is hosted up in Maryland. And so we were all just kind of hanging out as entertainers. And I guess in the comedy world in LA, that's a really big deal to get a viral YouTube video. So that's why he knew to check. I didn't even really know to check at that time. And my band, we had never posted anything on YouTube. We were so focused on our live show, it would have never occurred to us to film our show and put it on YouTube. We just never would have thought about it. So it was out of that the idea came for me to start a YouTube channel, which was called The Hot Violinist, the motto being it's never too late to be a hot violinist, and it's mainly a community for us adult violin learners. So yeah, YouTube here asking me questions, getting me going. So we're proud to honor your impressive milestone of reaching 100,000 subscribers with the Silver Creator Award. Congratulations. And yeah, so I've been a little bit out of posting lately, but hitting this and then this coming, it's just really inspiring me and reminding me to do this. I think one of the reasons that we didn't post anything on YouTube back then is that we never felt like we were good enough. What we were playing out on the weekends was always a work in progress, and we were also always thinking about getting to that next level, and it was never perfect. So like, why would we take a video? If you had somebody filming, then you'd have to really get it perfect. And that's what I've been thinking about, like as this comes in now, is to keep going, to share even if it's not perfect. That's the message that this gives me right now. And it let me choose my channel name here, and here's another just little thing that I've been thinking about. Before I wrote in The Hot Violinist, I wrote in Jenny O'Connor because I've think about off and on just changing it to my name for simplicity, because it does create some confusion if people don't know the whole story and really know the point behind it. I decided to just go with the actual name, the name that got me here, and for now, I'm going with it. I'm running with it. So if people don't get it, that's fine. This 100,000 subscribers is just represents that they're people who do get me and my quirky humor. And this is just even prettier than I expected it to be. So How cool. Thanks for sharing this moment with me. I'm gonna put it over here for right now. All right, there we go. There's a hole there. My violin is missing because I'm over there teaching today. All right. So Mike asked, what inspired you to take up the violin to begin with? So I started violin really close to the end of high school. You know, I say I was an adult because technically I was, but you know, I did still live with my parents. I was at the end of high school, so I was kind of on the cusp of, you know, so maturity-wise, was I an adult? That's questionable. And I got home from school one day, and I used to play my mom's CDs on the stereo, and she had a lot of folk music, and one of them was Garnet Rogers. It was mostly folk songs with like this really nice male vocals and guitar. And so I put that on. I'm like making a sandwich in the kitchen, and I should say around this time, probably a few months earlier, I had started to play music with some of my friends at high school, Vanessa, Jason, and they were friends with Mark. And they needed a bass player for their Greek band that was playing. And I just thought that was so cool that they were like good enough to play at a restaurant, you know? And they needed a bass player. I had played a little bit of guitar because my mom plays guitar. So I was brushing up on the bass and learning some songs. And so I was in this environment of my friends at high school were like practicing music and learning instruments. So when I was making my sandwich after school, listening to this Garnet Rogers CD that I had listened to 100 times, I like noticed for the first time that there's this whole instrumental piece right in the middle of the CD where there's no vocals. I don't even think there's a guitar. I think it's just a violin by itself, and it's playing the O Carillon tune, Farewell to Music. And it was just a slow, moody, kind of happy, kind of sad, one of those slow Irish airs with a lot of echo on it. And it just stopped me in my tracks that time. I like set down the knife from like making the sandwich mid through, and I just went and laid in my dad's Lazy Boy recliner, and I just listened to that song, and I probably listened to it a few times in a row. And it was right in that moment I was like, I have to play the violin. And I thought, I don't need to get like really good on it. I don't need to play anything fast or flashy. If I could just play like a slow, easy song like that, I'd be happy. So those were my famous last words, that I thought a song like that would be easy. And that's what got me started. And then also from Mike, okay, I've been meaning to ask this. How is the grass in your backyard surviving Texas? Oh, tragic tale, tragic tale. He's referring to a short that I posted over the winter when I was trying to get some grass growing in my backyard, and I made a whole metaphor like just keep. I made a metaphor to violin learning of like just keep watering the grass and eventually it will grow. Well, don't follow my grass with your violin progress, because now it is all dead and gone, and there's just a brown patch out there, just like I started. Whatever that variety is that I planted in the winter, it's not made for Texas summers, I'm afraid, but it's okay. My mom is giving me some ideas of some like native ground cover. So I'm gonna go a little bit more natural route this time. I'm letting the weeds take over, and a few of them are actually kind of cute. I'm like looking at it right now. It's right through the window where I'm filming. So yeah, unfortunately that grass though, RIP. Okay, from Floyd. How many songs have you written? What are their names? I'm like, I know there's no more CD books. These are all just online and you wouldn't know what's what. Most of the music that I play is traditional. My bandmates that I play with, we'd always just give them names that sound very much like traditional tunes. So you wouldn't know one from the other. So I thought this was kind of a cool question. And I had to go and do my research because I could not remember. So I went to jennyo'connor.com/music, where you can find my full catalog. Also more recently, I did a remastering and put a collection of tunes on my YouTube. under my name just to make it a little bit easier for my students to find, because my band names, we were always thinking of, you know, exotic sounding things, and it makes them kind of hard to find sometimes. So those are remastered, which was also kind of fun. But let's see, the count, I forgot to total up: 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, about 29 or so. And these are not songs that I wrote by myself, but in collaboration with these bands. And here are the ones. I went album by album. So just in case anybody is interested, because yeah, you don't have the CD book to tell you. So these are the music projects that I've worked on. And they kind of go from, these are the newer ones, and then these are the old ones. And this is the first CD that I ever recorded, where if you listen to that, you will hear my work in progress, a lot of out of tune notes. Like, I was recording way before I was ready, but you know what? It made me so much better. It was brutal, but it made me better. Here, if any of you who've recorded yourself playing know what I'm talking about. Okay, so starting at the top here, 11 Lives by Circa Paleo doesn't have any original tunes. Those are all 11 tunes from 11 countries. And Roseland gets into a couple, Bella Eurymastix, Pat Shiva, Souk, which sounds like something exotic, but it's actually named for Kelly, my sister's dog, Suki. And then the title track, Roseland. And then on the Tideland, these are mostly traditional Irish and Scottish, and also some Scandinavian fiddle tunes. But so the only original one on this is Tideland. Then moving on, these two are live albums, so they don't have any songs that aren't on the others. So I skipped those. Now going back to I Muzyki Sind, this actually had a couple originals, more than I was expecting to find on there, because this was pretty early on. This was the second CD that we ever released after this one. But yeah, that one had the Biserka Niagara, which we wrote, Ya Alexandros, and a couple of original bouzouki tunes that I may have helped a little on the chords, but I couldn't remember for sure which were which on that. I remember more on the violin ones. And then on Grafa, the original tunes are Tranquita Wine and Reina's Dance. Most of the names of these are coded tributes to friends or fellow musicians who we met along our travels. And then the I Muzyki self-titled, that's this one. And the reason that this one is self-titled is that these were all original tunes. And we spent a lot of time inside playing to write 19 tunes. We spent a whole festival season we did 2 different fairs in Florida. So we were there for at least a couple months. Didn't see the beach. We were inside writing music. And I like a lot of these, but a favorite of mine on that one is Another Time and Place. That's one that if I had a gig, a festival set to go and play next weekend, that's one that I would definitely want to break out. So mentioning that for the violin players, because you may enjoy playing it too. So you can listen to that one. So yeah, thanks so much for asking, Floyd. That was like, whew, that was a fun little trip down memory lane. And Mary asks, where did you get the top you were wearing in the HV video? And it's funny that you should ask, because this just got pulled out of storage recently. I was so happy to find it. It's made by Maresca, a costume shop that does Texas Renaissance Festival, along with Maryland, I know, and I'm sure some other festivals too. And they no longer make this top. So I was really happy that I found mine. Here it is. You can tell that it's been worn a time or two. But yeah, I found it. It's by Maresca. It's called the Khadija bodice, Khadiga, I I think. So you can search for them and sometimes find them on eBay. And maybe they'll start making them again. I heard that they had an issue with their trim supplier, which it does have this really unique trim. I have a red one too that was also found in storage, so I was really excited about that. And then I've also seen on Etsy that a couple of people have made patterns for these ever since Maresca discontinued it. And I don't think they'd mind you making your own since they have discontinued it. But yeah, good luck good luck on your quest. Hope you can find one. It is super comfortable too. You wouldn't think, I mean, in the realm of bodices, it's comfortable because since it stops here, you can actually breathe and your ribs can expand underneath it. So that actually makes a big difference in being able to wear it for a full festival day, or, you know, being able to play violin in it. Okay, and then from Ogden, are you still planning to write a song and book called Elf's Life? So this is something that we've chatted about, or people have suggested on my Patreon, where I'll sometimes share behind the scenes stories or memories. I can get a little nostalgic sometimes. So I would love to, gosh, a book. That sounds like a lot of work. So for now, I will say, along with some of my old costume pieces and stuff that I've gotten out of storage, I found a whole stack, like pretty much this whole bin like this, filled of my old journals. And I looked in a couple of them and I was like, whoa, these are things that I never would remember otherwise. So there is a lot, there's the possibility, there's a lot to pull from, and I love to tell stories, and I have had some one or two odd experiences along my adventures. So we will have to see, but for now, I'll share stories as they pop up on the Patreon. And that's it. So I just have to thank you again. Thanks so much for your support. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back soon. This is inspiring me to get going again on posting videos for you guys. So yeah, thank you. See you soon.